Y'all seen the documentary? We're going to talk about it because my thoughts might be a little bit different than everybody else's, so we're going to dive into this documentary. Now, one thing I want to say, I think we all have to kind of remember the name of the documentary is called Behind the Curtain. It's not just about one individual, because I've seen some people voice their opinions about they felt Roman should have talked more, the spotlight should have been more on Cody. This isn't about just one individual. This is strictly just about behind the curtain, pulling back the curtain to let us know what happened behind the scenes leading up to the main event of WrestleMania this year. That's all it's about. I don't think that should come to any surprise that The Rock literally had the final say in all this. I mean, he pretty much had the match with Roman Reigns in the palm of his hands to make happen for years if he really wanted to do it, and the schedule was right for him to do so, because I know he's a busy man, has other things to do, outside of WWE, but literally, if he calls WWE and tells them that he wants to do this match and he's invested into it, they'll figure something out, and if it's right, it's going to happen. Now, what's still a little strange to me is that I've seen a lot of people still say that The Rock is taking too much credit for this, or he's stroking his own ego, or he's still being selfish. It's very interesting, because I don't see it that way at all. I mean, he's literally just telling the story of what happened, which I thought, honestly, everybody knew. The Rock had that main event in the palm of his hands, and if he wanted to be that selfish, Cody versus Roman wouldn't have happened this year. Because he literally could have put that match and storyline on pause to say, I think we should do Rock versus Roman this year. That's the direction I believe we should go in. And there really wouldn't have been anything WWE would have been able to do to stop it from happening. Not even Triple H, because Triple H told Cody Rhodes the day of the Royal Rumble that The Rock could come back and this could happen. So I don't look at it as The Rock stroking his own ego or taking too much credit. I look at it as he did the right thing. He gave majority of the audience what they wanted to see. Majority of the audience spoke up loudly and clear, and they said, we'd rather have Cody versus Roman this year instead of Rock versus Roman. And The Rock was like, okay, this is what majority of the people want. We should go in this direction. And it allowed The Rock to tap in, to be a heel again, and do some of the best work he's done in a long time. It allowed Roman Reigns to thrive even more, Cody Rhodes to thrive more, Seth Rollins thrived more. Everybody thrived more in the storyline, and this could be the best pivot storyline WWE has ever done leading into a WrestleMania. Like, if The Rock really wanted to be that selfish, as some of y'all would say, he could have easily just did Rock versus Roman this year, and he would have had to say to do so, and nobody else would have been able to stop him from doing that. So honestly, I think some of y'all really need to give The Rock more credit to honestly making the correct decision of what majority of the people wanted to, because if the roles had been reversed, if they had did Rock versus Roman this year at WrestleMania, oh, y'all be coming at The Rock like crazy. Y'all would have been thrashing him, saying that he was egotistical, that he was Rock Hogan. Y'all would have been coming after his neck like crazy. Like, y'all gotta keep that same energy on both sides, man. If Rock and Roman had happened this year, y'all would have came at The Rock's neck like crazy. And y'all can't tell me y'all wouldn't have, because y'all was already tripping when he showed up and he had that little segment with Roman Reigns where they stared off face to face and didn't say anything, and Cody Rhodes had to step away to let those guys have their moment, and Cody said he wasn't gonna face Roman at WrestleMania. Y'all was tripping. So I already know if that match had happened at WrestleMania, y'all would have never forgave The Rock for it. But the fact that he did the right thing, that majority of the people want it, not everybody, but majority of the people want it, y'all still saying that he's egotistical, y'all still saying that this man is selfish and didn't want to do the right thing. Right, he gave y'all what y'all wanted. This is what majority of the people wanted, and he gave it to y'all. Now, yes, I understand there are other people who do have a say in this as well, and they have a voice, but we have to understand and analyze from what we saw in the documentary. The Rock had the biggest voice of them all. He had the biggest say. Because let's be honest, Rock versus Roman, box office-wise, that's a bigger match than Roman versus Cody. Roman versus Cody just has the better overall storyline that we wanted, because, for people who wanted the storyline to get finished and were invested into the story, you want to see the proper ending, because we didn't get it last year. The story continued. But from a box office perspective, Rock versus Roman is a way bigger match. That would have shattered numbers for WrestleMania this year. So if they were to go in that direction, WrestleMania still would have thrived and did tremendously. And if The Rock really wanted to do that, he could have literally did it. He had it in the palm of his hands. And that's why I think y'all got to give him more credit than y'all really want to give him. Because a lot of people with that superstardom and that type of power, not many people would have really pivoted and did the right thing. Let's be honest. Especially in The Rock's position. Especially in professional wrestling at that. Not many people would have been able to make the right call and do what majority of the fans would have wanted to do. A lot of people, in that position would have just rather looked at the box office numbers and the money they could have made and did that instead. But The Rock was really able to sit back and say, you know what? Majority of the people want this. I think Rock versus Roman would be great this year, but it's not the right time. The people don't want it right now. They want this. They want Cody versus Roman. Let's do that, and then I can do this, and everything turned out for the better. So the fact people still kind of tripping about it is so wild to me. I don't know why. We got what we wanted in the end. If you wanted Cody versus Roman, you got exactly what you wanted and more. You got a perfect storyline build up, a tremendous WrestleMania with a historic ending that will forever live the test of time. That last 10 minutes of that match at WrestleMania will forever be legendary. That's just how I'm looking at it. Some of y'all still may disagree, but for me, the most unselfish person in this by far was The Rock. Because he literally could have took away Cody's story at WrestleMania this year just to set up one of the biggest matches ever in WrestleMania history. He could have took it all away. But he heard what majority of the fans wanted. And he said, you know what? I think it's best if we do that. Because majority of the audience are saying they want that. And then we can go in a different direction and let's do this. He could have been an asshole and said, nah, these fans over here, let's just forget about them. Let's just do this big box office match and go, break records for WrestleMania and they'll get over it. He could have literally did that. But he did the opposite. And some of y'all still don't want to give him credit for it. Y'all don't have to give him full credit for it, but I say y'all got to give him the credit he deserves because, like I said, if the roles were reversed and he took Cody's story away from WrestleMania for the ones who want to see Cody Rhodes win at WrestleMania, y'all would have been coming at The Rock crazy. Y'all would have been slandering him all over social media for that.